Okay, so we're in Genesis chapter 14, and in chapter 13, Abram and Lot had both become so wealthy with their herds that where they were living together, they, excuse me, the herds could not support both Abram and Lot, so they decided to part way, and Lot went to Sodom and Gomorrah, where it was a very sinful place to. No, it was. There was a lot of sin going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, and that's where Lot had chosen to live. Okay, and so we're going to find out what happens here. So, chapter 14. At the time when Amraphel was king of Shinar, Arioch king of Elasar, and Kedorlaomer king of Elam, and Tidal king of Goyim, these kings went to war against Bera king of Sodom, Birsha king of Gomorrah, Shinab king of Admah, Shemember king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor. All these latter kings joined forces in the valley of Siddim, that is in the Dead Sea Valley. For 12 years they had been subject to Kedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, Kedorlaomer and the kings allied with him and went out and defeated the Rephaites in Ashtaroth, Canaan, and Zuzites in Ham, the Emites in Shavel, Kiriathaim, and the Horites in the hill country of Seir, as far as El Paran near the desert. And when they turned back and went to En Mishpah, that is Kadesh, and they conquered the whole territory of the Amalekites, as well as the Amorites, who were living in the Hezazon Tamar. And then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor, marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Shittim against Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elasar, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. And the 4 kings seized the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food. Then they went away, and they also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. A man who had escaped came and reported this to Abram the Hebrew. Now Abram was living near the great trees of Mamre the Amorite, a brother of Eshcol and Aner, all whom were allied with Abram. And Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive. And he called out the 318 trained men born in his household, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. During the night Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them, pursuing them as far as Hobath, north to Damascus. And he recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and the people. After Abram returned from defeating Kedorlaomer and the kings allied with him, the king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh, that is the king's valley. And then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine, and he was priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abram, saying, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. Then Abram gave him 1/10 of everything, and the king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the people and keep the goods for yourself. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, With raised hand I have sworn an oath to the Lord God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, that I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or the strap of a sandal, so that you will never be able to see I made Abram rich. And I will accept nothing but with that which my men have eaten, and the share that belongs to the men who went with me to Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them have their share.